It's the flop, cameraman.
I'm gonna mute you.
Hello, my friends. It is I and the Flarp. Yes, here at Gooey headquarters with Camera Mandy behind the camera. Say hello, Camera Mandy.
Hi.
Oh, you did a great job. You actually pushed your button that time.
I know.
That's
sometimes
very,
just
very
reaching
good.
over and pushing the button is just
so much
work.
stress.
So
Yes.
much work.
Good
Yes.
morning, friends. Yes.
And?
A marvelous day it is. Oh, yeah, we got this guy over here. But look what's in front of him.
Oh, yes. I mean, I will come show it in a second. But this is a blanket, a Darkenhaven blanket.
You too can have a Darkenhaven blanket with a fuzzy side.
Yes.
Isn't it marvelous, Corey? Now you totally messed it up. Now Mandy's going to be pissed.
Oh, I'm not. poor Diana. How do you say it? Diana Goo.
Diana Goo
got knocked over.
Yes, Diana Goo. Yes. Wait, Corey didn't get a chance to say hello.
Oh.
Say hello, Corey.
Oh, hello.
Yes. Corey is going to join us today because later we're going to talk about Gyzaengaxx, and this happens to take place in a certain area of Vanzentia near the Mithril Mountains. Yes. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later, but not immediately, right, Camera Mandy?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what we're going to talk about immediately. I guess probably.
Well, we got. Listen.
Why don't we go over what we're doing today?
Help a little bit here. Okay, so listen.
Yes, go ahead.
So, my friends.
You go.
First of all, we've
off.
got a wonderful little overview. We're going to show you some of the spreads from the Mornwood campaign lore book and talk about the Mornwood. And if you back the Kickstarter, you should have gotten an email now that has codes, secret codes that you're supposed to use to get all your Mornwood lore book.
It's actually not a code. It's like this little coupon that you press at checkout. So you follow the link from the website.
Yeah, there's a code in there, I thought.
There is a code, but it's like incorporated into a coupon.
Listen, however it works, just follow the instructions in the damn email. Camera Mandy to be in a shit disturb. Oh, I said shit. My bad.
Hey.
I didn't mean it. It was an accident.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, it doesn't matter?
No, it matters that you said it. It doesn't matter if you didn't mean it.
So listen, my friends, listen, I really want you to know this.
This is not appropriate for a.
It was a mistake.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
All right. So did you happen to grab that social media picture of you giving me a rasher of said what I just said?
Let me see if I can
Yes,
grab.
because I will tell you, my friends, if you back the Kickstarter for the Mornwood, again, we have gone above and beyond the call of duty, as they say. Yes, we have put all kinds of extra stuff in here. And
here, we'll go big.
Yeah, more portraits. That was a staged image, of course. You know this.
No,
right?
This is just how we are. This is just our natural state of being.
Look at how mean you look right there.
I know.
I don't know that you have that much attitude.
I think that the people who work under me probably are like, yeah, that's her natural state of being.
Corey, you see that up there? There's a lot of going on, right? She's kind of good. Listen, Alphinius.
How dare you pack this thing full of amazing lore, GM's reference guides with loads of stats.
I've seen that finger wag quite a bit.
Yeah. Yes, I know. It's absolutely true. It's not right.
Anyway. This is very exciting, and the download, it's like 8 downloads because there's special item cards. Yeah, lots of special item cards, lots of full color handouts, Gooey reward cards. It's pretty incredible.
All the portraits.
And this isn't even Blood for the Con. This isn't even the adventures. This is just the lore. This is just the sandbox of the area.
And we're going to do this with our region. So we made the decision that our continental type books are going to still remain as they are as lore books. But when we are actually delving into a region, we're going to build them a little more like our adventures. We want them to be very much utilitarian for game masters. So just like Darkenhaven will be the same way, there'll be actually Darkenhaven will have even more books. You wait to see. We've laid out a couple of them already. You wait and see, but you'll be able to use them behind your screen just like you would use an adventure book when you're traveling about. So, yes, Camera Mandy, were you just grabbing the pictures from the...
Yeah, you did a post.
Oh, yeah, from the... Oh, wait, is this what this is the post I did. Wait, what about the thing I sent you?
I'm downloading that. This isn't part of the presentation. This is just a social media post that you did.
Okay.
I didn't know what was in your thing. I'm sorry. Am I getting ahead of myself?
Yes, you're way ahead of me, actually, tended to.
Oh, okay.
All right, so settle down now. Just put this away.
All I'm doing is trying to add flavor.
I just want to point out.
This
is very important.
What? Go ahead.
Hog skeeters are like appearing in our adventures almost as much as Gooey Cubes. So, and I kind of like them. I mean, that is a pretty hideous bug. So I sent a description to Edvard long ago of this crazy, and AJ was really the one who came up with hog skeeters, and I really liked them because we like them better than sturges. We like sturges, but we like hog skeeters better. And I said I wanted to make a bug that was like a sturge, but was really creepy, right? And so I sent it off to Edvard with this description, and Edvard sends back this sketch, and AJ and I looked at it and went, oh my gosh, that's going to be really cool, you know? It had this hair all over it. It looked kind of like a fly with a massive, you know, sticking proboscis, you know, and its fat belly. And Corey, what do you think of the old hog skeeter? You can cut to Corey right now if you want to, cameraman, see if the button works. Yes. She's trying. Hold on, Corey. Hold on.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
There we go.
I'm in the middle of something.
No, cut to him in the little window so the hog skeeter can stay up.
I can't do that. I don't have that. I don't have that.
So is it like
overlay.
this big? Like if this thing?
So I think a hog skeeter in its massive form is probably about 10 inches big, and most of the swarms are probably more like 6 inches. But they're creepy little bugs.
Yeah.
Or big bugs, as it were.
It's not something you'd want to swat.
No. Especially after it's done.
It's everywhere.
It just blood suck.
Sorry, I'm like arranging you on the screen because I can't.
You don't need to arrange me.
Sometimes your framing is just not right.
If it's over here,
it just drives me crazy. I mean, I think it's worse that I
very low budget.
It's worse that I do it on screen with everyone watching.
Have I mentioned this is a low budget production?
You know, I just can't handle it. Okay. Anyway.
All right. Are we going to do this damn show, or are we going to?
Let's do it.
Oh my gosh, my screen just. All right, I'll get it later.
Are we going to
do? So we're going to do a little talk about the Mornwood stuff. We're going to walk you through.
Do you want to do social media first, or do you want to do?
Let's do social media. We got some great social media stuff. At least if Camera Mendy did her job.
I do my best, guys. Everyone knows this.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
We all love you.
So this is interesting because
no, it's not interesting. It's slander.
The shenanigans are turning on each other.
I have seen this, but this is still slander.
Well, it's mostly Patrick. Patrick's jealous of Chet's illustration skills.
So Patrick's throwing down on Chet.
Yes.
And Chet was coming back at him today. If you aren't following this saga, you are missing a most magnificent period of shenanigans right now. Yes, Patrick and Marcus is sneaking.
But Marcus is still with Patrick. Marcus and Patrick are like now.
They're Koompas.
Yeah.
You know what a Koompa is? You and I are Koompas. You know Koompas.
Is that
thick as thieves?
Oh, all right.
Koompa. I look in the wrong way when I look at Corey. I need to look this way because the studio is set up totally wrong. You know. So hey, Corey, how you doing over there, sir? Yes, I'm looking at a little Thu, whatever that damn thing is, the stuffed Cthulhu.
I thought Alphinius would celebrate the fact that the shenanigans are now turning on each other and not just going after.
I love the whole thing. I mean, of course, they're slandering me continuously, which is kind of disturbing. You know, and Harry has stepped into this fray a number of times, right?
Yes.
And then we get a lot of support. You know, I haven't seen anything from Jen.
It's someone's birthday. Oh, it's Star's birthday.
Yay!
Happy birthday, Star.
Happy birthday, Star.
Okay.
So yes, if you haven't been following that, you need to follow this. Oh yeah, I watched some of this morning.
Yes?
I did indeed.
I have not had a chance to watch it yet. Was it fun?
Geeky was at the beginning was singing a little song, and I really want to get confirmation because I think I noted in there what I thought the song was, but I want to get confirmation of what he was singing at the beginning. And then he and Rob had this wonderful dialogue, and they were talking about many things, and it was, I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but I watched probably 15, 20 minutes of it.
So yeah, two of our favorite people, Rob and Geeky, did a co-live stream together.
Yeah, last night.
Yeah.
I thought it was this morning. They sent me an invitation, but I was out last night with my dear Miss Goo.
Party.
Yes, we went, we haven't been out much lately. It was good for her and it was good for me. So no, it was fun. It was very, very much fun.
Okay, so I'm just blowing through this because, I want to get to our really good Mornwood.
We are not having wizard snails, cameraman.
Okay, it's not that. Well, we are.
No, we are not.
There is one. There is one wizard snail, and his name is Escargot.
Okay, Escargot is a polymorphed person. He's not a real snail.
Okay.
Snails just don't pop out of their little snails' eggs and turn into wizards. This does not happen in the world of Zyathé. We don't have that thing going on. All right, what do you got here, cameraman?
Oh, Dennis won Escargot, and so he got his.
He doesn't have an escargot. He only has two of the same ones. Where's the escargot?
I did one that was signed, and I did one that was not signed.
Oh, so he got the one that doesn't have the staff.
Yeah, that was my bad.
No, I agree with that. I think we don't need wizard snails.
I'll get it printed. I'll send it to Alex. It's too late.
Well, congratulations. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, I love that piece of artwork. Corey, you got to admit that's not bad, right?
No, that's not that. Yeah, it looks like a little helmet. And,
yeah, if you back the Warnwood Kickstarter and get physicals, one of the stretch goals is, or one of the was like an extra gift, and so we printed out stickers. Yeah, so everyone gets a sticker of the snail.
Yeah, and I really someday we're going to do a flora and fauna book because I think these kinds of things just add tremendously to adventures. Anyway,
okay.
Oh yes, and then there's this.
I will cut to myself while I talk about this. Oh wait, I don't have the button, so you'll just have to be on.
What do you mean you don't have the button?
The button went away on my Stream Deck, so I don't know. I got to get Adam in to fix it. Okay, there, I did it. Okay, so.
Hold on, Corey, that was pretty complex.
I had to go through 3 screens to get there.
Oh, 3 screens.
Anyway, so this is very important. I am looking for FAQ questions to go on gooeycube.com. We are doing a full. Well, we're going to start small. We can always add stuff to the FAQ. If you have any questions that you have about Gooey Cube that you think should be in an FAQ, please put them in the chat, and I will grab them.
You want to put them in the chat? You don't want to? Oh yeah, and make sure you give us a follow. Down there at the bottom.
Yeah, you can always subscribe to our channel.
Yes, subscribe. Yes.
But yeah, I won't have a chance to look through them all right now. So if you do have any FAQ questions, please put them through in the chat. I'm going to be working.
They can also do it on the Gooey Den and make your life easier too.
Yeah, there is a post in the Gooey. That would be easier if you did go to the Gooey Den or email me at cameramandy@gooeycube.com. But we're going to have a whole comprehensive list of all the works that we've done, progress reports on things that we are currently working on. There were some really fun questions. I won't answer all of those in the FAQ. I don't know. There was stuff about your what.
No, there was some annoying questions.
What kind of head towel do you wear to bed?
Yes, Patrick has taken to calling me a towel, so I am the terrible towel. Yes, Pittsburgh.
It's the towel of goo, like the Tower of Goo.
No,
it's the towel
not
of
a towel of goo.
Yes,
that is disgusting. That is what happens when you clean up a mess in your house. You end up with a towel of goo.
Anyway, but yes. So if you have anything that you think should go there, please message me. But then after I posted this, Chet took the picture and did a Hatter for Life sign.
Yes.
And it is so true, and I appreciate it.
Some people thought it was a political statement, but it really is just.
I have no problem. I have no problem with that.
It's just about wearing a hat.
Oops, wrong one.
Oh, it's a mallard, yes. So Chet's been taking to doing these wonderful signs of these various places. We're actually going to put the Black Cat Potion Company in the Gloomport and have some fun with that. But Camera Mandy, we have to write that. Chet says he's just too busy to write it up. But we're going to put his character, the portrait that we did of Chet's character is going to be in the Black Cat Potion Company, actually the proprietor there.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll do that.
I love that.
But this is Mallards of Malice, the Fighting Guild.
I love it.
I think they duck. It says duck around and find out, right? That was the.
Yes.
I thought it was don't duck with us.
Chet's not only great at art; he's really great at puns. You have to tell me what this is, because
right.
I'm
for
new.
Those of you who've been around for a while, long ago, the module was created that was B1. You can see it here. It's called In Search of the Unknown, and it came in the basic set. So this was after the white box. Okay, so the white box, and then they came out with Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, and they came out with this basic set that had this wonderful adventure module in there called In Search of the Unknown. Okay, and this was written by Mike Carr. And Mike Carr is one of the legends that we are going to have as a cameo appearance in the Gyzaengaxx adventure and campaign region. And Mike and I have been corresponding, and I had a wonderful chat with him a couple of times, and he sends in the mail this magnificent bumper sticker. Actually, he sent 3 of them to me about Quasqueton. Because Quasqueton is the area, the name of the dungeon, right? That is the In Search of the Unknown dungeon. So I ran that dungeon. It was one of the first modules that I ever game mastered. And I have wonderful, fond memories of it. And if you don't have B1, I think Goodman Games might have redone this in a new thing. I think they licensed something and redid this. So if someone knows that for sure, put that in there, but I believe they did. And it was a fun little adventure, right? In the old days, it was more as I've noted before, there was a lot of go down the hallway, knock down the door, kill the monster. There was a lot of that kind of stuff. But this had a little bit of a theme to it, and it was really a fun little jaunt. There were these pools that you would get into, and they could do all kinds of things to you. And of course, in those days, you just did everything, right? You didn't realize how dangerous it was to lose a character, right? Yes, those days, Corey. Now I don't want to lose my character.
Yeah, I don't want to lose my character. I threatened Adam like last night. I was like, if you kill my character, like.
Adam was game mastering last night, not your father?
This was for the night before, for Tomb of Annihilation. But I'm very attached.
You're in the Tomb of Annihilation and asking the game master not to kill you?
Yeah. I said, Adam, it is divorce worthy. There, I said it. I'm putting it out there. It's on the record.
Camera Mandy.
I'm just saying.
Adam, just call it bluff. Slay that character. Let her just walk right into the sphere of annihilation. Yes.
I mean, he did get that look, on his face, like that challenge, like.
It's divorce worthy.
Anyway.
My car is magnificent. We can't wait. Cameraman is gonna show you a few things later in the show where we've got some things we're talking about with Gyzaengaxx. We're gonna talk a little bit about that today. So what else?
Okay.
Harry put up some minis. We got a bunch of things,
I actually don't have Harry's minis. I forgot to grab those.
Goodness gracious, Cameraman.
I'm sorry. I'm working on it. Okay, but this was a really cool post. This is from Michael. And basically, he received his interim shipment for the 2020 Kickstarter with Chapter 5, Magicka, and Legends, Lore, and Libations. And he put something really sweet in this post, which was that just the feel of Magicka, the art, everything that we put into it. He said, Wizards of the Coast, take notes. So
yeah, it was very, very nice that Michael said this, and I have heard this from many, and that is why, Cameraman, you're going to continue to give me rashers of criticisms.
Sorry, what?
This is why you're going to continue to give me rashers of criticisms, because I will not allow us to skimp on quantity nor quality. And when good materials come in, if the book needs to be 50 pages more, it's going to be 50 pages
Listen,
more.
This is why it is. This is going to be an ad. This is why you need to back the Kickstarters, because you get these things at like a crazy low price, because the Mornwood and Blood for the Con was under $100 for both of those. Yes. But after all the work that we put in, all the artworks, everything like that, I think we're pricing Mornwood just the Environ.
The campaign at $80.
Yeah, at
80.
You're going 80?
80.
I said $90.
I know, she wants me to do it at 90.
There's so much stuff there. There's over 200 pages between the lore book, the GM, but okay, it's fine. $80. So just saying, though, you get like a hell of a deal on our Kickstarters.
Well,
because,
even the Darkenhaven and Gloomport box sets, which I know we're still late on, my friends, I apologize, but we're working on them. They're magnificent. There's so much more material than we ever talked about. The boxes are larger than we ever anticipated, and they're selling, I think we're pre-ordering them for $120 now, right, Cameraman, versus the people in the Kickstarter, I think they paid $100 each.
Yeah.
So not only you got all the extra stuff, you paid $20 less than if you're going to buy it now. So it's just going to be our pattern as long as this old wizard is at the helm. So that's what I can't wait to tell you about that Gyzaengaxx as we talk about it later. But Michael, thank you. This was wonderful. It's heartwarming, made my day. And oh yes.
We talked about her last week, Sweet Al.
Sweet Al, Alandris.
She did turn out, she was even better than what I was picturing when you were talking about her.
Yeah, so this is one of those NPCs that tends to, I think, kind of stick with parties, and I think that when folks have the opportunity to dance through Blood for the Con and come into contact with Sweet Al, I think that she's going to be a very favorite NPC. I'm actually hoping that she'll be one of the most favorite NPCs that you've ever had. She's magnificent. Now, I will tell you that she will compete in my world with Dr. Zud. Dr. Zud is a whole different ballgame, but Sweet Al is a wonderful, wonderful character. What do you think, Corey? You see her over there?
Very sweet looking.
Yeah, and then there's the Sharknado. Yeah, Corey, did you see this one? Were you looking, even peeking at this? Yes. What did the party do to make the DM pull out a Sharknado?
I feel like this is the kind of thing Corey would actually make and put at his table.
It should go through, we have to do it in Carnival Crashers. It needs to be
oh my God, that'd be so funny.
Event that happens in Carnival Crashers. Yes, because then the Sharknado just comes right through the middle of the carnival.
You just replaced the illusions tent with the Sharknado instead of the dragon.
Oh, yes, you could. No, so listen, I have to ask a question now. This is a very important question.
Is it?
How many people in the chat think that Sharknado is like a great movie? How many people think it's a good movie? And how many think it's a pile of crap? Because there is a very divergent opinion on Sharknado.
Okay, here's the thing about Sharknado.
Yes.
I don't think anyone can really call it a great movie unless you're calling it a great movie of what it's supposed to be.
Excuse me, cameraman.
What?
This has caused great controversy in our family because Marianne, Marvelous Marianne, believes Sharknado to be one of her favorite movies of all time.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
And she considers it a great movie. And Mike, of course, thinks it's terrible. So it's caused marital controversy. Not quite as bad as slaying your character.
Divorce.
It's not divorce-worthy. Not quite as bad as slaying your character in Tomb of Annihilation, but it is definitely. So I think there are people out there that truly believe Sharknado is a great movie.
I think that it's okay. Like, what are you gauging as a great movie? Are we talking about a cinematic masterpiece?
Let's think about this.
Or
is
it
The Princess
just
Bride a great movie?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. Was Shrek a great movie?
I think it was a great movie.
Yes. How about Scarface with Al Pacino? Or The Godfather? Were they great movies?
I think it just depends on what style of movie you
let's
enjoy.
just continue on this path here for a moment.
Yes.
Was Frozen a great movie?
Well, you're talking to a Disney fan.
Okay, so yes, Frozen.
Yes.
Okay, so as we progress down this path, right, we come to Sharknado.
I think it's called perspective. It's subjective to each individual person.
Well, I don't disagree that everyone has a right to their opinions. They have a right to be wrong, okay? That movie was horrible.
Okay, we've spent too much time talking about Sharknado. Okay, we have a few more things to get through.
Sorry, I apologize, my friends. Yes, what about this? The Play Goo collection.
Okay, I love the things that are happening in our den with some of this stuff, but yeah, the recent post of Gaston reacting to Belle's Alfavio centerfold got me thinking that was the only one Belle had. I just love how proud she is of her Play Goo collection.
It's amazing. She has a Play Goo collection. We have to make hilarious. Play Goo. Play Goo could be better than Flarp. Don't you think?
Gosh.
Seriously. I mean, if we did it right, it could flarp and you could make things.
I don't think we're going down that path.
This was so funny.
Baby, remember the money we saved up to buy our dream home?
Yes. And Marvelous Stefan said he's actually seen this person's game room and said it is a dream home, and he's totally right. Look at that build. I mean, that'd make Todd Michael Putnam proud right there, let me tell you.
Yeah, no, it's
her face is just magnificent.
I know. I want to know what this was actually for, because that's whatever these series of pictures were.
Well, Nate has been gooey for a long time, one of the first goos, and he every once in a while comes up with just a gem, and this was wonderful. It was wonderful.
Okay, next up. Sorry, I'm trying to follow the chat, but I'm not doing a great job.
Okay, check the chat for a moment, and I'll talk.
I don't know. Dr. Ransom Key said I had it hidden. Why did you show him? What did I show you that hidden? Okay, Patrick, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. Okay, now talk about the Garoond.
Oh, probably the thing that was on his newsletter, the newspaper. That's probably what he's talking about.
That was like 10 minutes ago.
Well, he's late,
Fair enough.
So Randy has.
Oh, the flarp. It's the flarp.
Oh, you had the flarp.
Okay, look, Alphinius. Here's the truth. He did something good. So I rewarded him with the flarp. But I will be taking it away after this episode.
No, you're not taking it away.
And then when he does something good again, I will give it back. And it's like...
Listen, we're keeping the flarp. The flarp remains. But anyway, Randy, this was a magnificent illustration. And I didn't know whether it was actually done for... It was just one that you found, right? Or whether it was actually done for Zyathé when I was reading. So I didn't know for sure. And if you're watching, Randy, I'd love to get clarification. But it's a wonderful, it just feels like a Garoond, right? Because they're all from that northern territory, right? The mountain folk, it's just a great, great image. And you can just see them walking through the snow at you, and you're like, that guy's huge.
All right, last one. So
Ben also made my day with this.
Yes. So Ben pulled out Peculiar Brews, which is the first part of Blood for the Con. So this should be in everyone's hands. When you think Blood for the Con?
I think we got a really good chance of dropping these digitals on Tuesday.
Oh, Randy says this was originally done for our 2 KG's setting.
Oh, for 2 Kings games. Marvelous.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you so much, Ben. This post, again, it's one of those things that like kind of helps us keep going.
It makes it, just the feedback we continue to get is what makes us believe that in the long term Gooey Cube is going to be wonderful. And well, it is wonderful already. Just we need more fans. We need a few more fans. And we have to build those, which we're working on, right, cameraman?
Well, yes. Now I'm going to show you. We're going to cut to Gyzaengaxx.
Are you going to show the? I'm
going to show the animation, but you'll also be able to talk.
Why don't we do the Mornwood thing before we do the Gyzaengaxx thing? Because we're talking about the Mornwood.
Poor Corey is just sitting over there. We gotta get him. We gotta get him. Corey, you can
come sit over here on my.
Yeah, come
sit on my lap. Come on, Corey.
I want Corey to. Okay, but that's fine. We can do Mornwood really quickly. Okay, so this is what happens when we don't talk about things ahead of time.
We never talk about things ahead of time.
It's true. It's so true. Okay.
I get a front row seat to the chaos.
Yes, that's right. It's exactly right. It's what we do.
Corey's feel free to chime in at any point in time. Uh-huh.
So it is much larger than promised. It's got way more content. And we decided, originally we were only going to do the lore book. We ended up doing the lore book with the Game Master reference so that you could really use it behind your screen. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about some of the sections. So right here, this is the first section, and this is the Anathema Malunax. And if you've been around, this is what I've been reading from in here, which is sort of a revamping of the creation story. I'm going to read a little bit more here in a minute. So Salquivius Civilicus Fireheart is one of the servants of the Oavao. But they're kind of perverted the teachings, which is what's going on, right? There's lots of these cults that are around that are sort of feeling this pull of this Oavao, and they don't really know. So even if you are paying attention in the Red Star Rising campaign, there is Noxica, and there is a feeling that a certain deity is returning, and she's actually correct, but she is incorrect. So if you're dancing through the darkest dream, you might find that as you go forward as a player or as a game master. But this again, I love the book because of how we break it up with all kinds of these essays and these marvelous touches and all kinds of artwork. And so the Anathema Malunax is sort of the first section that you get to as you go into the Mornwood book and get to read about this.
We have a few questions.
Yes,
before
absolutely.
we move on.
I'd love to answer.
First off, I got a great comment from Donnie. Mornwood will be better than the feeling that we all got as children when the Scholastic Book Fair showed up at school.
Donnie, I really wanted to do something nice, obviously, for you all. I wanted to make a product that I thought would be very popular and exciting, but the tale has really become very important to the entirety of the lore of Zyathé, and that grew in the telling as we walked down the road. So I thank you for the inspiration, and I'm thinking that we need to do a Revenge of the Con here next. Yes?
Okay. Is the Mornwood still available as pre-order for those who were unable to back the Kickstarter, or is that closed?
No, we're going to put it up as pre-order.
I don't think it's ever been available as a pre-order.
It's going to go up as pre-order here in about a week or so. So we're going to put it up.
We are working on it.
But we wanted to make sure, of course, that we got everything to our marvelous Kickstarter backers first. But I do think it's a magnificent package, and we'll probably do a little bundle for pre-order where we'll save you a little money too. So cameraman will admonish me about saying that.
No, I think that's fair. Yes. I think if people pre-order, especially because sometimes...
Well, especially they get the bundle.
And sometimes it takes a while for us to finish shipping Kickstarter orders because our shipping department is one person.
Yeah, well, we're four people in the closet.
I know.
This is what Gooey Cube is, right? Which is being done on the side of the advertising agency, which without the advertising agency, there wouldn't be any Gooey Cube, which I've said many times before. So, but I cannot tell you how much I appreciate all of you in particular, because really there wouldn't be a Gooey Cube without you either. Yeah. And it is magnificent. We add fans and friends all the time, and we think Gyzaengaxx is going to add a lot more. So, and we need one. We need a good hit here. This would be helpful for us. take care of our people, and keep making new and cool stuff. So I'll tell you more about what we're going to do with that and ask you for a favor here pretty soon. So
Marcus just gifted 5 tier 1 subs. Thank you, Marcus.
Oh. Thank you.
I think someone did earlier, but I
really got to say. I mean, you, Mark. For all of the banter, right? The shenaniganators are really. You'd have no idea, especially over this last few weeks where I've had such.
He did 10.
Oh, Marcus, thank you. But where we've had all of this thing going on with my family and all of this stuff, you've brought a lightness to my heart, and I can't tell you how much it has meant to all of us, because it's not just me. The power has been over all of us. But we are moving forward, and it is a good thing, and we are going to remember our wonderful David in Gyzaengaxx. Luke and I have already discussed it, and David's going to be a character there. So we are excited to bring him forward. But anyway, so this is the first section of the book, and it talks about this background. And I'm gonna. Do you want me to read it right now?
No. Randy asked, "Who is this person in this image?"
Civilicus Fireheart?
No. On the red.
So this was actually a licensed image. This we don't do many licensed images, but I loved this image. It's by a marvelous artist who does a lot of fantasy artwork on Getty Images and on Shutterstock, and he goes by the name of Wormtail. And I just loved this image of this most intriguing character reading this tome, and it fit perfectly. And so rather than commission an artwork, because I'm still giving money to an artist, right? A Wormtail is not an AI or anything like that. Wormtail has been making beautiful images for a long, long time. You can look his work up on Shutterstock or Getty Images, and so you might see this somewhere else. Someone actually pointed out that someone else had used it, but that doesn't bother me. This image is wonderful. It fit perfectly well, and there's a tale behind it, but it is not told in here. There's more to come when we dance forward. Perhaps this might even be the con. But you didn't hear me say that. Ha ha! Did I say that? I said that, Corey, didn't I?
And we have a hype train.
Oh, hype train! Hoo, 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 hoo. Cut to Corey so he can go hoo, 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 hoo.
Oh my gosh, you don't even know how difficult. Hold on. One second. One second. There you go, Corey.
Go. Hoo, hoo, hoo,
yeah. No, goodbye.
I thought he was going to dress up today, but he didn't dress up. I was totally disappointed.
Okay.
I mean, anybody who's named Lokabutt, you got to dress up as him every once in a while.
Next time.
All right, it's a deal. All right, cameraman. So as you go through the Anathema Malinax, which is very it is sort of this parallel thing that is going on, but it is written not from the negative of the changing of the creation, right? It is written from the positive, that O is the right. So that's why it's a wonderful and interesting read. And those of you who've been reading it, you know it reprised the sort of creation and the Gods' War, and how the Lords of Corruption had come into being, and then of course damaged the creation quite greatly in the Gods' War, and then of course, as we were doing our last reading, Avova sacrificed himself, merged his essence with the Zyathés, used the power that was then created from this merging, used that power to trap the Lords of Corruption in the Never Place, and then of course cease to exist. In fact, I'll do this reading right now. Just leave that up there, because the greatest of loss is what I just read, right? And then what I'm just about to read here as we go forward. All right. So what we had go on was this, as I mentioned, right? The greatest of loss was read earlier, right? And then the Maker awakened and came forth and did battle with the Lords of Corruption, and the Creator did this sacrifice. So I'll start back just a couple of paragraphs. And so, in a desperate gamble, Avova fled from the conflict with the 4 Lords of Corruption, and merged his life essence with the Zyathés, purging it of the filth of the corrupted and enhancing its power greatly. He then used the radically enhanced magical flow to imprison the Lords of Corruption in the Never Place, where they would remain for eternity with no escape. Then, as his life dwindled, he gathered as much deific animus as he could to recreate the 8 gods who had been slain. These gods did not return as they had once been, but were different, missing portions of their vital essences. But nonetheless, they lived again, and the balance of the creation was restored. Thereafter, with naught but a whimper, Avo-Va was no more. Indeed, he was the last and greatest of the immortal beings to perish in the Gods' War, bringing the number of the fallen to 9. The Eterniverse, while greatly healed by the sacrifice of Avo-Va, would never be the same. Though the nether flow had been sealed off from the rest of the Zyathés, its debasing influence could not be entirely removed from all things, and many scars remained in the Eterniverse and upon the life world. Yea, my children, Avo-Va had saved the creation, but at the greatest cost ever known. And the next chapter is called A New Day Dawning. In the annums that followed, the gods set about doing everything they could to restore all things. They discovered their powers were significantly increased, and the newly enhanced Zyathés allowed them to expand and augment their planar realms to even greater heights of grandeur. They touched Zyathé with these magics as well, bringing much healing to the life world and helping the mortals who lived therein to thrive. As time passed, Zyathé moved on from the effects of the Gods' War. Yea, even the memory of it became but legend. On Zyathé, the mortal peoples spread across the continents, and after many hundreds of years had passed, the rise of the Etheric civilization began. Harnessing the high cycles of the Everflow, the Etherns accomplished tremendous feats of magic. They built impossibly high towers that overlooked extensive swaths of magically altered lands. Almost as gods, they created living beings made of metal and other materials who were able to fully reason for themselves. They took to the skies in vast floating cities atop inverted mountaintops and soared about the planet. Yea, my children, they even took to the stars in enormous skyships powered by the Zyathés. Indeed, they remain to this day the greatest civilization that ever existed upon Zyathé. Yet despite their magnificent achievements, this zenith of mortal power would not last. For Gyzaengaxx, the greatest of the human mages, fell afoul of the influence of corruption in his quest for immortality. In his mania, he attempted to cast the one and only spell of the 13th cycle of magic, which is the way of all things. But Gyzaengaxx had been misled into using a corrupted mockery of the true magic, which would ultimately bring about the apocalyptic event known as the Woe of Ruin. This cataclysm destroyed the Etheric civilization and cracked the barrier that restrained the netherflow from the rest of the Zyathés, allowing corruption to again seep into the creation. Thus was the Eterniverse and the life world once again given over to the taint of the debasing flow, and again it seemed that all was lost. But this was not the end, for certain gods, at great cost to themselves, were able to push back the debasing current and mend the barrier that restrained the netherflow. And while their solution was not fully effective, as slight amounts of the corrupted flow still seeped into the Zyathés, it was enough to save all things. Thus, in the many annums that came thereafter, the planes were again restored and the life world renewed, though all was fearfully tainted with corruption and imperfection. And were it not for a happening from long in the past, this might have been the end of the tale. But it is not, for there is more to tell. And next time we will read the section called The Rebirth. Yes. Because there is more to the tale, indeed. Cameramandy. Hope people like these readings. What are you looking at, cameraman? You are intense right now. I'm looking over at her. She's all like this.
I'm thinking about some stuff.
What are you thinking about?
Just timing-wise, like I'm kind of wondering if we should skip over to Gyzaengaxx.
Why?
Because we only have 20 minutes left.
Oh, we got plenty of time.
Okay.
This is going to be quick.
Okay.
So as you move past that beginning, which is what I was just reading from, the Anathema Malunax, you move into an overview of the Mornwood, and here you will meet Bandar Grenfeather, the leader of the Verdestia, and learn about the Shadowed Path. And this is a marvelous section which gives you the factions that are fighting there. And as a principle, we love having factions that even oppose each other, even though they're the same faction. We like that kind of stuff because it really adds to the opportunities for you as game masters in terms of running games, because you would literally have them thinking they're going against a faction, right, and doing the good thing, right, but literally they're serving the other half of the faction that is, just as bad as the half that they're going after. You know what I'm saying, Corey? Did that all make sense?
Oh, yes.
So, and then we move into the historical account of the Mornwood, where you really get the history and understand how it came to be and the druids that were there first. And it is really, really wonderful. It talks about how the cataclysm that destroyed Fornastus Keep and the budding city that was coming there at that time. It's really, really a wonderful, wonderful history. I hope the folks that are reading it already are feeling the love and care that we put into this. And we've had some wonderful help from Charles and Andy, who are giving us some outside proofing stuff. And of course, Josh and Kevin spent tremendous amounts of time helping us to get this written. And then we added to it with AJ and Carrie and I and others. And it's just a true labor of love. So I can't wait to read the history and see what you think of it. And then we go into the timelines, because we love these timelines, these clacks that kind of take you through kind of what's happened, because it helps you as a game master have a quick reference to sort of history stuff. And so that kind of covers it next. And then go ahead, Cameramandy.
Sorry, I'm also messaging.
No, that's okay. I'm boogieing through it, right?
Yes.
And then, of course, we have this wonderful artwork that we did of the Verdestia.
And this is the timeline as well, right?
Yes, this is all part of the timeline. I just wanted to show this image because it is very important to the story of the Mornwood. The Verdestia and Verdestia's tears and all of this that is going on there, because these really are the good guys, but they are fanatics, and you mess with the Mornwood, you mess with the Verdestia, even if you're good guys. Then we bring it to current happenings in the Mornwood in modern times and speak about sort of what's going on now. And again, I'm so hoping that everyone feels this is a great read. This is worth sitting there in your bed at night and maybe not picking up a fictional book, that is a tale you've been reading, and maybe picking this up instead. I think it is, but that remains to be seen now, right? We get to have all of our friends look at it and tell us what they think. So, yes, there's a wonderful tale in here told by Elijah Sulrima about this little girl, and I've shown her before. It's a great little tale in the Mornwood, just one of the many strange things that are there. That's cool, huh, Corey? Yes?
Yes, and a little creepy.
Yes.
Cool. It's cool, right?
It's
creepy.
Yeah, his voice kind of cracked there. You can see this has got a couple little comments that were correct, and I wanted to show it anyway because this is the last. So the digital copies you've received probably will be updated, and we'll put up new digital copies with some adjustments. Most of the typos and such like that we've caught. These are formatting things that we want to make sure we get right and all that stuff. But the locations, then you go into here, and it's very much like the Dark and Haven book, and you go through and look at all the locations and all of this stuff, and it corresponds to the Game Master reference book, and it's really, really wonderful. And then I just show you the first spread of the Southern Fringe. We'll show more of it next week. And then the essay of the Ramblings of an Old Codger, which AJ wrote, which is really, it's fun. It's just fun. It's just fun. And then, of course, the Fringe map is the last thing we will show. The Eston Shore in particular here. But this is a low resolution version, but it is just magnificent. Edvard, who does our maps, is just so talented, and I'm so pleased to work with him. And he has a wonderful little family. They just had a baby, and it is wonderful to support a human being out there who has this kind of talent.
Awesome.
That is it. How'd I do, Cameramandy?
Great. Okay. We are going to transition over.
So I'm going to slide over. I'm going to stand up.
But I'm going to they'll still be able to hear us, but I'm going to play this this video here. So
which one are you playing?
It's the one of Gary. The little ghost. It's not completely done yet, but let's see here. So
yes, look at that.
Now you slide over seamlessly.
Yes, I'm going to slide over seamlessly.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring the flarp because I think Corey needs to have an opportunity to be able to flop on.
Look at the ghost.
So I think that 2 slides ago, I think that if you want to do a spin-off, Ramblings of an Old Codger, that could be a new spin-off of Good Morning.
Yeah, right. Is that what you're saying? I am. Here, take the flarp. Yes, you can have the flarp. You can fart around with that.
Now, I'm thinking, guys in the audience, about making him just a little translucent and kind of flickering in and out a little bit more.
I think he needs to be just a touch.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So I don't think this is the finished.
But Mandy, when you're looking at this, look at this, Corey. You see this? So this was Luke's suggestion and a wonderful suggestion. So around his neck is the egg. Okay, this is the gem that is around his neck. And if you look stylized in his belt is EGG because he went by E. Gyzaengaxx. But that is the genesis of the egg of Coot. If all of you who have really remember the first fantasy campaign, right, which was this with the comeback in and the Greyhawk, which delved into Greyhawk and all of that stuff. This was the egg of Coot, I believe, was the genesis from E. Gyzaengaxx. You know about the egg of Coot?
I don't.
Oh, you got to look it up.
See, I get to say that because I'm just a little younger.
Younger than I. So listen.
Corey, he gave you the flarp, but not the cup.
I know, so I'm stuck with the flarp, right?
You have to, in order to make the noise, you have to do it inside the cup.
Oh.
So he set you up for failure. Just know.
Well, it's kind of fun just to play with. Oh, Corey. Good God, man.
I flarped away. Flarping
you come to the Goo Morning Zyathé and just let one go.
And I think it was right here in my mic, too. I mean, it was...
Oh, yeah. You put the lid on so the flarp doesn't dry out. You got to keep the flarp. So for those of you who don't know, Corey is one of our Gooey friends and was actually the author of, in East Verdestia, or there's another microphone over here, I can't remember, I hope it's turned off, was the author of Gyzaengaxx in Verdestia and made a beautiful continental area. And he's also one of our magnificent game masters and runs the Carnival at Gen Con and this year at Genghis Con, yes?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Sign up for Carnival. There's actually it's a 3-part series that takes you to the Du'un Sara Sea in Sundestia at the end. So yeah, it's a great 12 hours of gaming at a con if you want to take all 3 sessions.
Absolutely, you should. We are pleased, and this, a lot of credit goes to certain folks in particular, but to all of our game masters, right? But Casey and Matt and Whitney and others who help us organize. Camera Mandy too is very involved in this, and how we end up putting these games out there that just get such good press, right? Love the game, all these comments from people and how much they love them, and it makes me very proud, So
yeah. And I'm proud to be a part of it. Can I take just a second to tell about a trip to Lake Geneva, Wisconsin?
Yes, you should.
All right. So about in 2014, it was the 40th anniversary of D&D. A group of friends and I decided to get an Airbnb in Lake Geneva.
So it was your, not homage, but it was your mission.
A little retreat away for the weekend. And so from all over the country, we end up there to play a weekend of D&D. And I ran this game that was about a civil war in this fantasy kingdom, and the player characters had to be the mentors of the young people who were going to grow up to do the Civil War. So they got to know the characters and all of the intrigue before the Civil War happened. That became Gyzaengaxx.
Oh, magnificent.
So I got to take that thing that we did as our kind of mission away to Lake Geneva as a weekend. It became Gyzaengaxx. And as I'm looking at the map that you put together of Gyzaengaxx, I see this little Easter egg north of Glúvoic's stronghold.
Yes.
Called Gyzaengaxx.
Gyzaengaxx, right against the Mithril Mountain.
Right against the Mithril Mountain.
Are you going to grab it, Camera Mandy?
I'm going to grab a map. Just keep talking.
Okay. So then later, of course, I get to hear that we're doing an adventure as an homage, the Tomb of Gyzaengaxx. And it's right there. And I'll just say this, that and I hope I don't bring tears to my eyes, but it means a lot to me as been through many, many decades of D&D and and playing the game that we all love so much. And we're now getting to kind of build this together as a kind of tribute. And 2024 will be 50 years, right?
50-year anniversary. That's one other thing, we get to do this as a part of that. And as I said last time on the stream, we're going to push hard with our community to get lots of your submissions for the Gyzaengaxx campaign. I really want as many people who want to participate in it and give us areas and places and all of that stuff. I really want them to have that chance, because I don't know in my heart of hearts. I mean, I hope that we will have other things that we will do, but I don't know that Gooey Cube will ever do anything as important. Cameraman is thrashing things with me. I don't know. But Cameraman, this is unwieldy. I mean, this is really unwieldy. But right, right here up against the Mithril Mountains in this area, right there, right in that area.
Why doesn't Corey hold it up?
Okay, Corey, you can hold it up.
There we go.
Yes, but don't cover your face. You're better looking than I am. But right here up against the Mithril Mountains, right, is a place called Gyzaengaxx, and it is called. It used to be a keep of a fairly famed wizard, right, named Gyzaengaxx, and Gerald disappeared some time back.
Corey, tilt it forward.
Oh, yeah, tilt it, yes, forward, yes, like this. Yes,
a bit more. There we go. There we are.
Okay. You can peek out from behind it. Like, remember Marty, what was his name? Marty Feldman. Marty, the guy from Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. Does anybody even remember what that is? He would always go, yeah, very interesting. And look out from behind the weeds. Right. Anyway, forget that, I digress. So Gerald Gyzaengaxx disappeared some years back, and people who would go to, you have that picture, Cameraman, the picture of the, we'll show it next week. So anyway, Gerald disappears, and people who come to this keep that was his place can't get in, and there are fearful creatures and all kinds of strange things going on. And so basically, over the period of just a few years, they start calling it the Tomb of Gyzaengaxx, because even though it was his home, right, his tomb. Now, after those few years have transpired, Lukáš Gyzaengaxx retires from the Vanzentian military and comes to this little town called Ethholm. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Ethholm. And there is this marvelous little town called Ethholm where we're going to have all these wonderful cameo appearances from like Ed Greenwood and Mike Carr, who we talked about earlier.
Can you speak up a little bit, Alphinius?
Oh, I'm sorry. And Skip Williams and Margaret Weiss made a character, and Errol Otis has made a character. I mean, it is unbelievable, and that's why I'm saying I'm not sure that we'll ever do anything as important. I think it's important, as important as this. And let me get this out of your face.
Just going to move it behind us.
Let's just put it
I just
down.
wanted people to see where it's going to be, because more people are familiar with West Verdestia.
With West, yes.
As we haven't had any adventure set in East Verdestia yet, so this will be our first ever East Verdestia adventure. So everyone polish up on your East Verdestia, since we have that book released.
So anyway,
it's a good book too.
Yeah, it's fantastic. In fact, and I said to people, I really, because obviously it was our first thing we did, which was, it's on the wall up there, right, which was West Verdestia, and it has wonderful things going on. I love the Vile Desolation and all of that stuff. But I'm not sure that East Verdestia wasn't a better tome. I love the Valandians, obviously. I love the Donvin and Vanzentia thing that's going on, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right? I mean, you can tell a little bit about that.
Sure. So Donvin and Vanzentia have historically had been two warring nations, and only recently, like in the last 30 years, come to peace. And the only reason they've come to peace is that during the Vanzentian Civil War, which was caused by the death of the king of Vanzentia and his two sons, neither of which being picked, because in Vanzentia you are picked in a ceremony called the Vanzagred to be the new leader, the most worthy. It's not just, and there have been historical things where a leader of an area will pick the cobbler's son instead of their own children because they think the cobbler's son is more worthy to lead. But that never happened. And because the king didn't want either son, he wanted his daughter to get it.
Yes.
And the daughter because in Donvin is more of a market,
yes, they're total capitalists.
Total capitalists. Well, in this engagement, the king of Donvin lost his son, and so he took the daughter of Vanzentia.
So the Donvin king kidnapped
yes,
the daughter of the Vanzentian king.
And pretty much for 10 years raised her from her teenage years on up. Yes. And then she returned with proof that she was the chosen of the Vanzagred. So that kind of, first of all, ended the Civil War. It also allowed for Donvin and Vanzentia to come to a shaky peace because she knew the royalty of Donvin and knew that most of the conflicts were not really about the two ruling families going after each other. It was really about the differences in the society of a meritocracy versus a capitalist society.
But and there were people stirring the pot.
Oh, there absolutely.
The Valandians were stirring the pot.
Still stirring the pot.
And there were others in there as well. The merchants, very powerful nobles, etc.
And just the thought of having a queen now rule them who might be a puppet of their enemies. There's definitely lots of people in Vanzentia who distrust the queen and kind of stir the pot on that notion as well. So a lot of intrigue and stuff going on. The Gyzaengaxx takes place north of Gluvvoik Stronghold.
The Gluvvoik Stronghold.
And a little history about Gluvvoik Stronghold. It is above the dwarven city of Mithringdun. And when the Woe of Ruin happened, the king, Gluvvoik Stone Level, allowed
he was a dwarf.
He was a dwarf. The king of Mithringdun at the time, underneath the Mithril Mountains, allowed anyone to come. Said, opened the doors and said, come, we will, take care of all kinds.
Yes, because the surface had been just wiped, all the plants and animals. It was just devastation.
Devastation. No food. So they brought everybody in, and that's where kind of the meritocracy of Vanzentia was born, because everybody had to live together in a tight space for hundreds of years, or 100 years or so.
Yeah, about 100 years.
And then as people ventured back out, and the surface was then able to be populated again, that same meritocracy kind of kept, and Gluvvoik Stone Level still ruled mostly Vanzentia until some things started happening in the Underdelve, and he had to turn his attention back to Mithringdun, and that's when the Gluvvoik Stronghold was kind of built to separate the two. So there's the city, or the area of Gluvvoik Stronghold, and then Mithringdun is kind of a sister city. And it's interesting because the sister city actually has a higher elevation because it's in the Mithring Spire.
In the Mithring Spire.
Yeah, so it's in the mountain. So you look at Gluvvoik Stronghold and look at all these beautiful things, but off to the left is actually Mithringdun underneath that mountain.
Underneath it, yeah.
So, and that's kind of the lore of that, which is just south of where Gyzaengaxx would be.
Yes, it is. So if you head north along the edge of the Mithril Mountains, you come to this little village called Ethholm. And there is another village, not quite so nice, called Glun.
Hold on, I'm working on getting some pictures.
Really? Cameron Mandy.
Hold on. Well, you're going to have to just be patient. I don't have a great overlay for this, so I'm going to have to show this one of your chairs.
It doesn't matter.
Of your empty chair. Hold on.
Look at that.
Let me just...
Magnificent.
Yeah.
So Cameron Mandy, you remember we found this damn chair? We found this damn chair online, and it wasn't that expensive. It was on sale, and we ended up buying that and the table because of our studio. And it's just, if you ever get to see it up close, it's really a work of art.
You know what I love is that my program froze. So during the entire thing, there was nothing on screen except for this empty chair.
Yeah, that's okay. They could hear us, right?
There you go. Okay.
So this is Ethholm, and you are looking down from the little cabin, the hut of Raju, the druid. If you know, you know. And there is Arun and Bryphus, who are
This
visiting.
is Raju.
There's Raju, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Oof. Raju, very interesting character. You'll love him. And then you're looking down to the village of Ethholm, which is really kind of a small town. Honestly, they even have a keep there. That keep is run. Yes, this is a marvelous tavern they're in. I'm not going to give away too much yet, but this is the tavern that is there, and the inn, the main one that is in Ethholm, and you can see Raju's hut there up on the hill behind, and some interesting characters therein which we will bring to the table. And do you have the tomb of Gyzaengaxx, Cameramendi, or do you not? Oh yes, I really want you to show your animation of this. So if you know, you know. This is this.
We need to figure out though what we can do for people who don't know to make sure that everyone's included.
We just have many nods to the early years of this marvelous game herein. Things that are inspired by them, things that give you a smile. It's going to be a little lampoony, so be prepared for that. It's still going to be scary and a little grimdark like we do our stuff, but there's going to be some lampoony things in there as well, because there's some fun, and there was a lot of funness in the olden times. There's not quite such a serious thing, right? And so you'll find some interesting Easter eggs, not pardon the term, right? What were you saying?
Well, I was just going to look at that animation.
Yes, camera Mandy.
Wow.
Yes, look at that.
So I think maybe before you unveil all of them, just do a little hunt. Maybe in the den, an Easter egg hunt.
Actually, we planned on doing a little bit of some kind of a contest, but we're going to have to do it online. So people are going to have to go on, and then we're going to ask like 20 questions and see what people say. And I think that's the best way to do it. I was trying to think of how else do you do that with all these Easter eggs, right?
Yes.
How do you find, so you got to kind of guide people as to 20 they've got to find. So we think it's going to be like a scavenger hunt, and we'll give away a fun prize. So that was a great idea, and yes, we're going to pursue it. I didn't know we were back up. I thought Camera Mendy's animation was still up there. Look at that.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, right? And of course, the missing eye is a nod to the second edition. The second edition cover, yes. Yeah, Player's Handbook. So, yeah. Anything else, Camera Mandy?
No, it's 11:02.
So just looking here at this marvelous blanket, we think this is actually going to be available, right, Camera Mandy? We're
gonna do a few. I think we're gonna put the dimensional slinker on one. A few other pieces of art, and but it won't be just that size. You can get them in various sizes.
You can get a big one, right? You can get a pretty darn big one that could fit over your shoulders. Any questions from the chat before we go? Any thoughts?
I'm sorry, I have not been as closely following, but I don't think so. So.
She doesn't think so.
Yeah.
Looking at you, cameraman.
Okay, well, thank you all so much for joining us. If there are any additional questions, please message me or Alphinius or put it in the den.
Yes, no, thank you for coming down. Corey, thank you for being with us today. This was marvelous.
Always an honor.
Wonderful. And we're excited. We're going to talk a lot about Gyzaengaxx next week because the Kickstarter is going to start here in about 2 weeks. And the favor I'm going to ask you is to please tell everybody you know. Think about it as a wonderful holiday gift, a Christmas gift, or Hanukkah gift, or Kwanzaa gift, or a Festivus for the rest of us, whatever you happen to celebrate at this time of year. And give if you give gifts, think about it as a gift. I think it was probably, even though I think we've made some very interesting collectible things, I think this will probably be the most collectible thing we've ever made. And I can't tell you how excited I am to actually be doing this. I never even. I pitched it at Luke, and he said, let's do it. And it was wonderful just to ponder it. And it will be bigger than it was supposed to be, and it will be a better value than you thought it was going to be when you started. And it's going to take us probably about 9 months to produce. So we're going to extend this thing because first and foremost, the most important thing is for us to get out Darkenhaven and the Gloomsport. And so our production schedule is going to be elongated on Gyzaengaxx because we are going to get done with Darkenhaven first, which is very close, really. It's closer than you might think. And then we're going to follow up with that Gloomsport and get that done and get that into your hands. So we are completely caught up there at that point. So, my friends, you have been marvelous. We can't thank you enough for your support for us, for your friendships. I've made lifelong friends because of doggone Gooey Cube, you being one of them. Now, Corey's going to game master for us today, yes?
Yes. There's some Essenverd. If you look in the south near the town of Presselchet, there is a tower of Liverdog, which you guys will find out all about this evening.
Yes. So it's wonderful because I haven't got to play in many, many years. I've been mostly game mastering, so it's wonderful that Corey is running a game for us. And so we are trading off with our group and having some fun games. And I hope your adventures are sticky, my friends, every time you play. Yes?
May all your adventures be sticky.
Bye-bye, friends.